The Elder's last warning was not delivered with anger. That was what unsettled the Galactic Assembly most. Across a chamber large enough to hold a mountain range, beneath a ceiling of floating stellar maps and rotating sigils of ancient authority, the Elders of Terra stood in silence. No weapons were visible, no fleets were summoned, no threats were spoken aloud. Only words. "You are approaching a line," the eldest among them said, her voice steady and unamplified. "We advise you not to cross it." The delegates laughed. Not openly, not crudely, but the subtle ripples of disdain passed through the chamber. Tentacles tightened, mandibles clicked, bioluminescent skin patterns shifted in amusement. To them, the elders were relics, slow-moving humans who spoke of restraint in a galaxy that respected only dominance. The Threxian High Marshal leaned forward, armored plates gleaming. "You are one species," he said, "recently uplifted. Your territory is small, your fleets are adequate. Do not mistake courtesy for fear." The elder met his gaze without flinching. "This is not a threat," she replied. "It is a warning. Humanity does not escalate quickly, but when it does not stop." The assembly voted minutes later. Human objections were recorded, archived, and ignored. 3 days after the vote, Threxian assault fleets crossed into the demilitarized Sol Fringe. They did not fire at Earth. That would have been foolish. Instead, they targeted the outer colonies' human world settled with diplomats, engineers, families. They framed it as peace enforcement, claiming the colonies violated interstellar trade mandates. The first bombardment killed 12,000 civilians. The galaxy expected retaliation. Instead, Earth went silent. No war declaration, no emergency broadcast, no fleet mobilization detected by long-range sensors. The human ambassadors withdrew from the assembly without comment, their faces expressionless. The Threxians celebrated. They had misinterpreted silence before. Countless species had gone quiet just before surrender. The Threxians believed humans were the same. They were wrong. On Earth, deep beneath oceans and continents, the elders convened in chambers older than recorded history. They were not politicians, they were not generals, they were custodians, keepers of lessons humanity had learned at horrific cost. Around them, projections displayed casualty numbers, orbital footage of burning colonies, intercepted Threxian transmissions mocking human restraint. No one spoke for a long time. Finally, the youngest elder, barely 70, broke the silence. "They ignored us." "Yes," the eldest replied, "as expected." "So we proceed?" The room seemed to darken. "We proceed," the eldest said. Across human space, systems long thought decommissioned came online. Power draws spiked from stars no longer listed on any registry. Artificial intelligences older than the assembly itself awakened from enforced dormancy. Their first words not questions, but confirmations. Authorization codes cascaded through quantum relays. Project names erased from history were spoken again. Civilian evacuation protocols were initiated not only in human space but quietly, anonymously, in neutral systems nearby. Humanity did not warn its enemies, it warned everyone else. Then, the elders spoke one final time. A message was transmitted on every known frequency, from electromagnetic to gravitic, from quantum-entangled nodes to courier drones physically crossing space. It was brief. "You were warned, this is the consequence." The first Threxian fleet vanished without a battle. Not destroyed, simply gone. Sensors detected a momentary absence, a void where mass, energy, and even spacetime itself had been folded inward. The Threxians assumed a malfunction, until a second fleet disappeared the same way, then a third. Panic spread. Emergency councils convened, scientists screamed about impossible readings, priests declared it divine punishment, generals demanded targets. They never saw the weapons. Humanity had learned long ago that visible power invited countermeasures, so they built tools that operated beneath perception itself. Gravitational shear fields collapsed starship formations from the inside, turning fleets into tangled wreckage without external explosions. Temporal desynchronizers caused ships to arrive seconds before they left, tearing themselves apart in paradox. Information warfare units rewrote enemy command AI's mid-thought, converting strategic brilliance into cascading failure. And still, humanity did not advance. They withdrew. That terrified the galaxy more than any invasion. The Threxian homeworld fortified itself, dragging moons into defensive orbits and igniting planetary shields fed directly by its star. The assembly demanded explanations from Earth. There was no response. Instead, the consequences spread. Trade routes that had existed for millennia collapsed overnight as human logistics AIs quietly rerouted traffic away from Threxian-controlled space. Economies dependent on human manufacturing faltered. Medical supplies, terraforming components, and hyperspace stabilizers, industries humanity dominated without ever boasting, simply stopped arriving. Entire sectors fell into recession within weeks. The assembly finally realized what the elders had meant. Humanity did not rule through fear. It ruled through integration. For centuries, humans had embedded themselves into every system: trade, medicine, infrastructure, communication. They had offered help freely, never demanding loyalty, never threatening force. And now, they withdrew that help. Worlds began to die not from bombs, but from failing life support grids they no longer knew how to repair. Crop systems failed without human climate algorithms. FTL accidents skyrocketed as non-human navigators struggled with drives humans had optimized generations ago. The galaxy begged for negotiation. The elders answered. This time, they spoke not from a chamber, but from Earth's orbit, standing before a backdrop of humanity's home star. You attacked our children, the eldest said calmly. You ignored our warning. We will not exterminate you. We will let you experience the galaxy without us. The Threxian High Marshal, once proud, now desperate, fell to his knees before the transmission. We surrender, he said. We will withdraw. We will pay reparations. The elder's expression softened, but only slightly. Surrender is irrelevant, she replied. This is not a war. This is consequence. The elders ordered one final action. Human systems that had been secretly maintaining Threxian planetary shields were shut down. Not violently, gracefully. Within hours, solar storms battered exposed worlds, satellites failed, orbital infrastructure collapsed, billions survived, but civilization did not. Human rescue ships arrived afterward. They evacuated civilians. They treated the wounded. They did not rebuild. Over the following decades, the galaxy changed. Species once arrogant learned humility. Councils once dismissive began recording every human objection with reverence. The phrase "the elders warned us" entered common speech, used to halt reckless ambition before it turned catastrophic. Humanity did not expand its territory. It did not install puppet governments. It simply resumed helping those who listened. As for the elders, they returned to obscurity. Their work done, new generations rose, inheriting a galaxy that finally understood the meaning of restraint backed by resolve. And in the archives of the Galactic Assembly, beneath the record of the vote that doomed the Threxian Empire, a single annotation was added by an anonymous clerk. When humans warn you once, they are being polite. When they warn you twice, they are being merciful. There is no third warning.